Hello and welcome back to the vlog. Tomorrow is surgery day for both the boys and I can't even tell you how stressful this is. Like, I've never had to set up anything like this for any of my kids and I just didn't realize that like so much went into it. I mean, I guess there's really not. It's just a lot of like phone calls. So I got the pre-op out of the way, well, the physical pre-op, and then the pre-op over the phone. So I got those taken care of. We had to move it around because they had Bennett going in first and then Hendrix was like the very last patient. They moved that around so that Bennett would go in and then Hendrix right after. We have to be there by 6:15. Bennett will be back in the OR at 7. And then, like I said, when he's done, Hendrix will go back. I have my sister watching Halston, which is so nice because I trust her and so I know that he'll be like in good hands. The only stressful part is that my girls, because you know I breastfeed, they don't like when I pump. They just don't respond well. So I've been having a really hard time trying to like pump and have bottles ready. So I think and I'm hoping that I have enough to like get him through. Worst case is she can just bring him to the office and I will nurse him. We got that all figured out. I had to call and reschedule parent teacher conference. That was also supposed to be tomorrow, but obviously that's just not gonna work because the kids will be having procedures done. It's been a lot. It's been really stressful. It's almost 4 o'clock. I went to the grocery store, got some things for the boys so they'd have like ice cream and popsicles, juice, yogurt, just all kinds of things to make sure that they had at least something. It's hard because like Hendrix is so picky that like I can't really do like ramen noodles or soup, or he won't eat anything like that. So I'm hoping it goes better than I'm thinking. I still have to pack and make sure that we have everything ready because we will have to leave here by at least 5 o'clock in the morning. I feel like I'm stressed now and we're not even to the most stressful day yet. Like, I'm dreading tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get dinner that was originally supposed to be in the crock pot in the pressure cooker in hopes that it still turns out good. It should. But I also told Hendrix, and well, I guess Bennett too, but Bennett's not as picky, so he'll eat what I'm making. I asked Hendrix if there was any meal that he could have, what would it be? And he chose Wendy's. Overwhelmed is an understatement. Dishes are done. Nobody. What do you think?
How is it, buddy?
He's a fan. Surgery day was a day that I had a lot of anxiety over. Hendrix ended up being sick. Both boys were originally supposed to go back together, like back to back. So Bennett went in, had his done, and then Hendrix would go in right after. Hendrix ended up being sick the night before. His appointment was canceled. Thankfully, my sister was able to take care of him while we focused on Bennett because I just had so much anxiety over this. I am the type of person that it's like I want to go and Google and educate myself, see everybody else's experiences, and I'm going to do my best to share that with you because I didn't feel like I found a ton of information. Maybe I was looking at the wrong things, but I want to kind of tell you how it went. Originally, you guys know a while ago, Bennett had just some like tooth decay. It was just on one tooth. It was nothing like crazy, but I put it off for a while and I thought they were gonna have to pull it, but they were thankfully able just to cap it. And so his surgery per se, there was nothing that was pulled, but there was no like root canals or like nothing crazy. He just had to get some caps. I wasn't scared for that. It was just the thought of him going under anesthesia. I've never had any of my kids go under, and that just seemed so terrifying, especially because they don't know that it's gonna happen. They don't know what to expect. Like, their brains are not capable of understanding what is happening and how it's going to feel versus an adult. But I also know that Bennett was in great hands. I want to say we had to be there by like 6:15, so we got there, we checked in, they just asked us a couple questions, and they were super quick to get us back to the pre-op room. I know there was the nurse, there was the anesthesiologist, the actual dentist herself, and there could have been one more, I could be wrong, but I know there was at least like 3 or 4 that we had to talk to. But they were just so kind, and I feel like this is like what made the biggest difference for me, is that they were just so loving towards Bennett. Like, even the nurse was like, you know, we are all parents here, we try to go from a parent perspective. It was just such a great experience. They were very just comforting towards Bennett. You know, it's kind of intimidating when you are in a new room, you've never been to this place before, there's so many different people, but they actually gave him this little bear puppy, actually I think it was a puppy, and a coloring book, so he was coloring, and you know, we're building this little relationship with this little stuffed puppy so that he at least had some kind of comfort and some kind of familiarity. They came in and said that they were ready to take him back to the OR, and so they're putting the rails up. And like, this is the part that I was just like super nervous for. The anesthesiologist clarified this, because this was like my biggest worry, is that I knew he had to be put under because obviously he's 2 years old, and you know, putting laughing gas on him and trying to do like mouth work is just going to be nearly impossible. So sedation was like the only real route, and I really wanted to get this tooth taken care of. He ended up getting all 4 front ones worked on because there was, I guess, a little bit of decay on, like, it was just kind of spreading across. So he has basically 4 new front teeth. I'll maybe try to insert like a before and after maybe. I knew that he was gonna have to be put under, and my biggest fear was just like, oh my gosh, like they're going to try to put an IV in him while he's awake, and like that is gonna be so traumatizing, and I can't be back there. And like, that was just like my biggest worry, and I think where a lot of my anxiety was coming from also. But the anesthesiologist did clarify that before they do any of that, they will put a mask on. He will breathe in this gas and fall asleep, and then they will do like the actual sedation and everything else that is needed. That was really comforting. They came in, put up the rails, said that they were ready to take him back to the OR, and they're like, Bennett, you wanna go for a little ride? And he got to bring his little puppy back there, and he's like, yeah. And off he went. He didn't cry. They didn't have to like pry him out of my arms or anything. Like, he did so good. I was expecting like this big traumatizing like separation, and I was gonna be a mess. I still cried. After he left the pre-op room and we went back out to the waiting room, I definitely cried. Kenny was so sweet and just gave me a hug, and like, he was just so good. I don't think I could have done it without him. Like, he was definitely my rock in this. While we were waiting, he went to Starbucks, which was awesome. It kind of helped pass some time. It was like right next door, so it just worked out. Procedure itself took about an hour and a half maybe. It took a little bit of time, but it went by a lot faster than I imagined. I thought I was just going to be like pacing around and just anxious, and it was gonna go by so slow, but it went by incredibly fast. I'm not gonna lie though, the after is what I think was the most traumatic. I knew that he was going to be very sad, maybe a little ornery. Kids are so different when they wake up from anesthesia because, like I said, they don't comprehend what is going on. A little traumatic. He was just very sad though. He wasn't like angry or like super crazy. When we walked into the post-op room, there was a nurse that was like holding him and patting his bum because he was just so sad, and I was not prepared to see that his mouth was just very swollen, like his lips, and there was just blood, so much blood. I was not prepared for that, and I feel like that is something that will be stuck in my head forever. But he immediately wanted to go to us. They're taking off monitors, we're trying to soothe him, let him know that we're there. You know, he's saying, dad, you know, help, dad, and like Kenny's got him the whole time. We're passing him back and forth. It was very nice. They had a really nice like rocking chair in there. It was more like a recliner, so like we could sit there and rock him, and like it was just The surgical center was amazing, but they also offered him a popsicle. His throat was pretty dry, you know, lips were cracked, and his mouth's a little sore. We got to go home right away. Like, he recovered super fast. It was more or less that anesthesia wearing off, which took not even 24 hours, I would say. Like, by the end of the night, I mean, he slept like really great that night, but by morning, like, he was totally back to his normal self. It was some getting used to, like, seeing his teeth, because like they just look so different. They look so good though, and it's just so crazy to see. I know I've been like gone for a while. I just feel like the new year came and I had this really big realization, and I suddenly needed to change some things in my life, and so it kind of put a lot of things on hold, including YouTube, and I feel like I'm a little more ready to post again. You know, I plan to obviously fill you guys in. Like I said, very vulnerable video coming out soon. I actually had it filmed, and then I mentioned in my last vlog, I have been having problems with my SD card. So that was one of those videos. I was so proud of it, and it is unusable. So that's unfortunate. So I'll have to refilm that. But really, I think the only thing that you've missed was Valentine's. You know, Kenny and I have kind of like struggled in our relationship. It's been very rocky, and that's something else I want to update you guys on. You know, I miss the romance. I've never been romantic with somebody. I've never had like those super sweet moments that are just like almost stupid cute, you know, like they're quirky or whatever. So I was joking around with Kenny one night, and I was like, oh, you haven't asked me to be your Valentine's. And he's like, well, neither have you. So I decided to take that and make it into something romantic. I've never done anything like this for somebody, and I think it turned out so cute, and just is something that is going to be memorable for us. It was also extra special because he's never had anybody do anything like that for him either. So that was really cool. I think I feel extra bad for being MIA because I have an abundance of new followers. I had a person shout me out. Her name's Olivia. I watch her all the time. I've watched her since her firstborn was just little. We had very similar lives, and it was just really cool to like relate to somebody because I felt that was really hard to come by, especially in the YouTube world. She now has 3 beautiful little girls, and I still enjoy watching her content, but she gave me a shout out, and I had a ton of subscribers come this way, which was amazing and so sweet of her. So hello to all of you who are new. I apologize that she like gave me this shout out and then I just like disappeared off of YouTube. Also a big thank you to those of you who kept Bennett in your thoughts while he was getting that dental work done. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.